I'm Ben with Beretta. I'm here today to talk to you about the CX4 pistol caliber carbine. Now, the pistol caliber carbine is a highly flexible tool for law enforcement, home defense, and also a lot of fun to shoot. The CX4 has some unique features that make it really flexible in the field. It has the ability to switch its charging handle from the right to the left side and ejection from the right to the left side. Let's take a look at how we do this real quick. Now, before messing with it, make sure that the weapon's on safe. Go ahead and lock your charging handle open and eject your magazine. And once you've verified that the weapon's clear, you can go ahead and drop your bolt. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the disassembly button catch. It's basically kind of a little bolt that holds the upper and the lower together. You can press it through with your thumb. You may need a small tool to go ahead and press it all the way through so it pops out the other side. Once you have that out, you can go ahead and pull the lower off of the upper and set the lower aside because we're not going to need that anymore. Now pull your charging handle all the way to the rear till it stops, and at this point it should just pop right out. Sometimes you have to wiggle it a little bit when they're new, and you can set that aside as well. Now if you grab the recoil spring buffer at the back or any part of the bolt carrier and just pull it to the rear, the whole bolt carrier assembly will just slide out of the upper. Now you can go ahead and set your upper aside. So on the bolt carrier, if you set it upright, the rounded part up, you're going to see a little spring clip. And again, you might need a small tool to pop that spring clip off of there. It doesn't hold on too tight, so it'll just kind of come off. And then your recoil spring and your guide rod, pop those off. Now you're going to see there's a little spring sticking out the back of the bolt carrier. Whichever side this is on is opposing which way the brass is going to go out of the gun. So if you pull that out, on the opposite side of it, there's a flat piece of metal. This is basically your extractor. Now the extractor, whichever side this is on, this is the side that your brass is going to come out of the gun. Right now it's on the right-hand side. Before we put these back in to determine which side we want the brass to come out, notice that right now on the left-hand side of the bolt carrier, there's a little black plastic shield. This is really just kind of a dust cover or something to cover the ejection port on the side that you're not using. You're going to need to grab something and push through to go ahead and pop that out. In a lot of applications, we just leave this out on both sides so you can change ejection back and forth and you don't have to worry about it. If you want to keep it in, feel free to go ahead and put it in whichever side that you want. Make sure that this is on the opposite side of the flat piece of metal because this is where your brass is coming out. So if this is on the same side, you're going to be ejecting brass into this. That's not good. So we're going to set this up to eject from the left. So the flat piece of metal is going to be put on the left-hand side of the bolt carrier. You just drop it in, slide it forward until it locks into place. And it should be basically flush with the back of the ejection port. Now a little spring piece, which is basically your ejector, same deal, drop it into the slot and just slide it forward until it locks in. And again, it should be flush with the back of the ejection port. Now you can go ahead and put your guide rod in, take the little T-shaped front, drop that into the little T-shaped slot up here, and the spring clip with the small legs forward into the little slot, and just pop that into place. Okay, so now your bolt's ready to go. Go ahead and take your upper, flip this guy back upside down, place this into the upper, and just slide it home. Now right now we haven't put a charging handle back in. So if we want the charging handle on, say, the left-hand side, we need to pull the bolt carrier back until you see the little hole line up with the slot. And this little slot here is where the charging handle runs, and there's a little hole at the very back. There's a corresponding hole in the bolt carrier, and we need those two to line up. Grab your charging handle with the rounded part to the back, because this is the part that you grab. Stick that into the hole, give it a little wiggle until it goes home, and then slide your bolt forward. You're now ready to put your upper back onto your lower. I like to do them upside down because it kind of keeps everything in there where it's supposed to be. Just line everything up. Get your rails aligned, and go ahead and lock it back into place. At this point, the weapon's back together. Take your teardrop locking piece with the small part forward, put it into the hole, go ahead and lock that home. CX4 is now back together with the charging handle on the left, and ejection will now come out of the left side of the gun. You can also swap the magazine catch from left to right side, and the safety can go from left to right side. So the CX4 can be made completely left or right hand dominant, or you can switch them up. You can have it ejected from the right with a charging handle on the left, or vice versa. So however you want to set your gun up, you can. CX4 here is shown with some optional accessories. You have the rails, the forward grip, and the barrel shroud that's available. All these accessories are available on our website at BerettaUSA.com. Good shooting. With the ability to change ejection to left or right and your charging handle to left or right, and the ability to use your PX4s or your 90 series magazine, the CX4 is fun and versatile. With low recoil and a cold hammer forged barrel for accuracy, the CX4 is truly a carbine that can serve multiple purposes.